Welcome to a new era of public infrastructure. Today, we're diving into an explainer on a truly disruptive technology, one that's going to completely revolutionize how municipal park managers, city planners, and facility directors approach shade. If you manage open public spaces, well, you already know firsthand that keeping your community safe from the sun isn't just some nice-to-have aesthetic anymore, right? It's an absolute operational necessity. But traditional construction methods, they've kind of held us back for decades, locking us into these long, painful project timelines. So today, we're going to unpack a breakthrough system that basically changes all the rules. For years, park managers have faced this massive, recurring headache, and it really boils down to this. Providing essential shade is critical, absolutely. But how do you actually pull it off without heavy machinery tearing up delicate environmental root zones? Or, for that matter, without getting bogged down in 6 to 12 months of archaeological and municipal digging permits? You see, traditional shade requires pouring these deep concrete footings. That means excavators, hydrovacs, fenced-off areas, essentially destroying the exact parks you're trying to protect. It's frustrating. It's totally counterintuitive.
But what if I told you there's a solution that sidesteps all that destruction? One that completely bypasses those bureaucratic permit delays and actually slashes your capital expenditure by 50% compared to heavy industrial steel? Now, I know that sounds almost too good to be true for a municipal budget, but it's entirely grounded in some really brilliant new engineering.
Let's just compare the old way with the new way for a second. The old way is what we'll call buried capital. Heavy steel structures, massive site disruption, highly specialized on-site welding, and permanent sunk costs. If you need to redesign a beach 5 years from now, that foundational investment is literally lost in the dirt. But the new way? The FLXshade system. This acts as completely adaptable liquid infrastructure. Zero digging permits required, it sits entirely above grade, and the whole thing is a 100% relocatable asset.
Okay, part 1, the science of flex rods. Let's get into the mechanics.
To understand how this infrastructure can be so incredibly resilient while remaining totally non-invasive, we have to look at inward flexing technology. Replacing industrial steel requires a fundamental shift in thinking. Instead of rigid steel stubbornly trying to resist the wind using massive underground concrete blocks, FLXshade uses patented 2-inch polymer rods that are actually designed to bend. They use tension flexibility to safely dissipate energy, holding the high tension of those architectural 3D twisted sails without needing to be anchored deep underground. It's a brilliant pivot, really, working right alongside nature instead of trying to fight it. And you can see that elegant curve deployed right here in a sports park setting. Now, those 2-inch polymer flex rods, they are deceptively strong. We're talking a 5,000-pound pull strength. Plus, they're completely rust-proof, so you can wave goodbye to those costly long-term painting cycles you get with steel. They're non-conductive, meaning they're perfectly safe near high-voltage lines. And incredibly, despite looking so light and sleek, the whole system boasts a 150-mile-per-hour hurricane rating. Moving right along to part 2, zero excavation park protection. So, the big question: how do we actually anchor a system that can withstand a hurricane without digging giant, destructive holes in your carefully manicured beaches and parks? Well, the operational magic is a zero soil disturbance model. FLXshade uses above-grade, interlocking concrete lock blocks. Think industrial 2x2 by 5-foot blocks. Because the entire footprint stays above ground, you completely bypass those dreaded permit delays and archaeological impact assessments. And crucially, you perfectly protect delicate environmental root zones because there are absolutely no hydrovacs, no trenching, and no underground utility locates required. Now let's talk about the bottom line, because this is where planning committees really pay attention. Because you're totally eliminating the need for specialized steel fabrication, large excavators, concrete trucks, and deep trench digging, you get a premium 4-block turnkey system for a flat rate of about $30,000. And there it is. That's exactly how we achieve that massive 50% reduction in capital expenditure we touched on earlier. Ultimately, this completely redefines how municipalities buy infrastructure. Your shade is no longer just a sunk cost abandoned in the ground. It becomes true liquid infrastructure. If your facility needs evolve, say a playground gets expanded or a land lease ends, you aren't leaving your budget in the dirt. You just unbolt the FLXshade system and redeploy it to a totally new site in a matter of hours. The asset moves entirely with you. All right, part 3, proven in public spaces. Let's see this in action. It's one thing to talk about structural engineering, but let's look at how seamlessly this integrates into the real world. Here we've got an elegant integration at the gates of countryside in the city of Brampton. This really proves that rapid, high-performance deployment can look incredibly sophisticated. The dark architectural sails and the sleek polymer posts give you critical UV protection right over these park benches. But they don't overwhelm the beautiful stonework or the surrounding landscaping. It just fits perfectly. Now, for stadium infrastructure, the demands are definitely different, but the solution is just as effective. Take a look at these bleachers at Terry Fox Stadium. The FLXshade easily handles extreme high-tension loads to provide really expansive, reliable shade over the seating areas. It protects the spectators from the glaring sun, but the key takeaway here is that it does it without adding massive, prohibitive weight to the stadium's underlying substructure. Whether it's a windy coastal beach setting or a lush location like Cottonwood Falls Park, the end result is exactly the same. You get this expansive fabric canopy, providing a robust, safety-first, UV-blocking solution that harmonizes beautifully with the local environment. It feels light, it feels airy, and it preserves the natural beauty of your public spaces instead of cluttering them up with heavy industrial metalwork. And that brings us to part 4, Sombra, your coastal partner. To ensure you're getting this level of aesthetic and structural quality, you really need the right logistics team. It's not just about buying the parts, it's about seamless, professional installation, and that's where Sombra Outdoor Living steps in. Sombra is your exclusive Vancouver and coastal regions representative for Shade Sales Canada. When you partner with them, you're getting genuine, authentic Shade Sales Canada products deployed directly by local experts who intimately understand the unique environmental demands of the Pacific Northwest.
And what makes this a truly stress-free A to Z service is that Sombra manages absolutely the whole shebang. They handle local block procurement directly, sourcing top-tier architectural finished blocks from places like Lafarge. The delivery and precision placement, handled entirely by certified tandem axle flat deck crane operators. And to top it off, they back the entire installed system with an incredible unified 10-year structural warranty, right alongside a 15-year UV fabric warranty. You just pick the spot, and they handle the rest.
So we've seen the brilliance of inward flexing technology. We've seen the stunning real-world results from the city of Brampton to stadium bleachers and open public parks. With a $30,000 flat price point, 150-mile-per-hour hurricane-grade strength, and literally zero environmental digging required, it is time to bring a really important question to your planning committee. Why are we still burying our municipal budgets in the ground? Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. Look at your upcoming park projects and seriously ask yourself, isn't it time to make your infrastructure liquid?